watch the film and you see some of the throwing inaccuracies, what goes through your mind when you're seeing yourself play that way?
Yeah, it's frustrating because, like I said after the game, is like you did everything up to that point right, and then you miss a pass, and it's frustrating. And that's something that we practice on, something that we get after, and something that I'm going to keep, getting after, keep correcting. It's passes that I feel that I typically don't miss in those, moments and situations, and especially with some of the passes being what they were and how wide open, and you miss and you move on and you correct and you find ways to get better.
At the start of the second half, the 3 and out, the 3 straight misses, did it feel like some of those throws that were off target kind of came in spurts as you watched it back? And were you able to put your finger on maybe why that was?
Yeah, I think some of it, the coming in spurts aspect of it, I think it came from something as simple as the footwork and just being being on top of that and being smooth with that. Even if footwork was right, it's just being smooth with it. Not being hesitant and letting it rip. And I think that's always something that quarterbacks need to have in their mind, and something I always try and have in my mind is be decisive. And decisiveness always wins. And when you start being hesitant, things like that, you start missing passes and easy passes that you feel that you don't typically miss.
How would you describe your responsibility in the false start issues that popped up in the first half the other night?
Yeah, I think some of it is obviously it's on me being able maybe say it louder in the huddle, or maybe not be as aggressive on punching the gas on the cadence, or whatever the case may be. Whatever it is, we'll fix and we'll handle, and I'll handle on my end whatever I need to handle, and we'll be better with that here coming up.
What's your 1/11th in handling that going forward to make sure that doesn't?
Yeah, like I said, it's either saying it louder in the huddle, recommunicating it, when we get to the line, or whatever the case may be, or things like that, small things like that, goes a long way.
What's your understanding of what Ben wants you to do when you get out of the pocket? We've had coaches here who coach, keep your eyes up, go deep. We've had coaches say that if you're going to run.
Yeah.
What are you, especially the other night when you seem to take off a lot? What's going through your head when you do that?
Try and stay ahead of the sticks, and help the team stay on the field. That's big. Being able to have possession, timing. So when I broke the pocket, it was get vertical, and get down, protect myself. If I saw something, we had one to Rome. If I saw something, one to, I think it was Colson also. If I saw something, hit it. If not, be decisive, get downhill, protect the team, protect the football, and things like that.
Caleb, Ben said that.
You're playing behind new offense.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take for you to understand how comfortable you can be in the pocket and when to get out?
Yeah, I think that comes with multiple reps with those guys. And just being able to feel, exactly when and where, and just being able to find. I think it's something that people don't realize or understand is being back there. You tend to realize where the O linemen, necessarily not weakness, but their typical spot of where they may give a little bit of pressure or not. And so it's just being able to find that out, with our group and where we're at, and we're figuring that out here, pretty soon. We got a bunch of games coming up, and we're excited about it. I'm excited about it, and the guys did great up there.
Matt said that he needed to call more run plays, or needs to call more run plays. Might be a weird question to ask a quarterback who likes to throw the football, but does he need to call more run plays? Were you thinking the same thing?
Well, if Ben said he needs to call more run plays. Coach Johnson said that he needs to call more run plays, and that's what he needs to do. It's not a me thing. It's not a my decision. I think part of it is, I think we had in the first half, our run efficiency in the first half wasn't as good compared to our second half and how we picked it up, and I think that's what he's going off of in that situation. But other than that, if he said that he needs to call more, that's what he needs to do. I know that as a quarterback, if we run the ball efficiently, it helps my job become not necessarily easier, but opens up more lanes and things like that for me, because now people have to come up and the defenders have to come up and defend the run a little bit more heavily, and allows us to take maybe a few more shots or anything like that. So if that's what Ben said, and Coach Johnson said, that's what he feels he needs to do. That's what we need to do.
Caleb, how do you process a performance like that Monday in the big picture, when the whole offseason, including the coaching hire, personnel moves, everything has been geared toward helping you take the next step?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think some of it is just trusting and believing. I think that's the biggest part of it is being able to trust, Coach Johnson and being able to trust my teammates and things like that, and keep doing what I was kind of doing the first half. It's just taking what the defense gives me and moving the ball down the field and being decisive. There was a lot of positive that came out of that. Obviously, we had negatives, and within that game that kind of how Coach Johnson said, we had more negative plays than they did, and we lost the game. So it's being able to find in those moments where maybe a drive goes bad, and it's being able to find those ways to kind of come back together and go out the next drive and be efficient and kind of do what we did in the first half.
Caleb,
I
with
think
how
after last year,
Yep.
everything you guys went through, and we've talked about obviously a lot how difficult it was. It'd be human nature to be like, here we go again, as things are going in the fourth quarter the way they're going. How do you keep that out? Did you notice anybody, players, like could you sense tightness because of what happened, or like how do you kind of avoid that thought process?
Yeah, I think it's being able to come together as a team, and especially as an offense, and realize that nobody has to do more than what we're asked to do, and that's myself included. That's everybody, on the team, but also on the offense, especially. It's just being able to go out there and do your 111th, and we'd all do that at one point on one play, and then we move on to the next play and we do it again. Typically good things come out pretty good on the other side of that. So that's the message. If those moments come up or anything like that, it's just everybody do their job. Everybody go out there and let's do it at the same time when the ball is snapped. And let's see what happens.
how loud Ford Field is, and Ben knows because it's homecoming, it's probably gonna be really extra loud. How comfortable are you with the silent cadence, and how much do you think you're gonna have to use it?
Yeah, you definitely got to use it on a away game, especially any in division game that we're going against right here coming up this week, and being able to use that effectively is going to be good for us. I've had practice with it since last year, and then now through training camp, and this week we're going to be using it. So it's something you need to use in those loud environments, and I think we'll use it effectively.
In the fourth quarter on Monday night, you had the touchdown drive. There's a shot on that play. You took a deep shot down the left sideline to DJ toward the end zone. What was your view on that play? Did DJ convert the route, or what was your view of how that unfolded?
Yeah, so that unfolded, and DJ ended up converting. The safety was tucked inside, and just ended up not being on the same page with the ball and things like that. And he ended up doing a good job, popping his hand up in the air and showing me, and just got to deliver him a good ball, probably a line drive next time, and just get the ball in his hands as fast as possible, and let him go, be special from there.
How do you get in sync on that?
Yeah, that's just complete reps that you get throughout camp, season, and then just obviously communication and open communication between each other.
Caleb, has Ben talked to you about any tendencies that the Lions defense might have, like using his knowledge for things that you might be able to exploit?
Yeah, but I probably wouldn't want to say that just because they may use that against us. So I'll keep that to us.
Caleb, with Aiden Hutchinson, I know you didn't play him last year, but you've seen plenty of tape on him.
Yeah.
As a quarterback, what do you have to kind of be aware of with what he's capable of?
Yeah, obviously he's a great player, and coming off injury, and he's still super explosive. Obviously, you've seen the clips of him and the game that they just played. So he's still the same player, still very explosive, still a high motor guy, and I believe at one point he was the sack leader before he got injured last year, right? Yep. And so just being aware of him, knowing where he is, and being able to help the lineman, getting the ball out early, and slowing him down in those ways, and then just being able to take care of him, in our game plan.
How do you look back at the last game there when you went there for the Thanksgiving game last year?
How do I look back on it?
Ford Field, yeah. How do you look at that now? Months later, a year later.
Yeah, good team. Made a lot of plays. They made a lot of plays. They came out with the win, and we move on from it.
Caleb, Ben was talking about how Flores blitzed less than
Yeah.
he expected. And in that retrospect, maybe he could have adjusted sooner.
Yeah.
What do you learn when you go into a game plan and the team does something different than what you guys have prepared for?
Yeah, something that you learn from that is being able to adjust very fast. It's being able to come together on the sideline and kind of talk about it, kind of discuss after the first 2-3 drives. You start to kind of get a feel for what they're doing. And they blitzed a lot less, and when they did blitz, it put us in a good spot on that fourth down towards the end of the game. And but other than that, you find ways to adjust, and I think we'll do a better job with that throughout my career, but also these next upcoming games of when we go out there and teams don't do exactly what we thought they would, or similar to what we thought they would, and we just adjust faster and better.
Caleb, do you know what your fastest recorded speed is?
Probably like 22 miles an hour at some point.
I think you were over 20 on the touchdown run.
Yep.
Have you done any speed work to improve that, or is that just something that is a little bit unheralded?
No, I think I've been kind of fast. It's just I just choose how much speed I need to use to just stay as far away as I can from the defender chasing me. In certain moments, you open it up, and then certain moments you just, like I said, you stay away and use the proper amount of speed to just stay away from whoever's chasing me.
Do you have to worry about self-preservation there, that if you're gonna take off and run, there are risks and you need to protect yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. You do understand the position that you're in and that I'm in. And you don't, if it's fourth down, if it's third down, game time or anything like that, it's time to go get the first down, or if it's fourth down and goal or whatever, we got to go get the first. You go get it. And that's the mindset. But in any other case or anything like that, you protect yourself. You get down, or if you're going for the end zone, go for it.
When you took a shot in the shoulder, were you trying to protect yourself?
Yeah. I tuck it close, tuck my arm close, and so if anything happens, it's everything's tight, to the body, and protect myself in those ways. And I am 230, so I'm a larger, kind of condensed human. So do understand that, and you do understand who you're attacking in those situations. If you're attacking a backer that's larger than you, a D lineman, whatever the case may be, safety, you go down. If you're on a corner maybe that isn't necessarily known for tackling, you try and go for it sometimes. So just knowing the situation, those split second moments, and going after it. Awesome.
Thank you.
The Bears. Thanks, guys.